What's up, everyone? Welcome to another week of What You're Missing. This week, we're going to talk a lot about women in gaming, and it's going to be relatively brief because what I want is, instead of you listening to me talk, I want you to go and read some of the links that I'm going to put in the description below. And last week, I learned a lot about Gamergate, and hopefully you did as well, both in the video that I found by uh, Dan Simon, I think his name was. I could be wrong, but check the post on Friday and Thursday. The video is posted in both. There's a little discussion on Friday, or probably not a little discussion. There is a discussion of me kind of talking about it and what my thoughts are on it. And there's more of that today. So I think it's a very important issue, and it's one of these issues that you and I and other people who feel like what's going on is inappropriate at very best, and at worst is criminal in nature, um, and unacceptable on all levels. That it's up to people like us to speak out and make our voices heard and make it abundantly clear that this is not acceptable in our community as video gamers, or even just as people, that you cannot treat other people that way. So go back, read what happened last week, or at least my discovery of what's been going on. Um, Partake in the discussion, and I'll run you through some of the news that jumped out at me from last week, and we can go from there. I'll put the links to the blog posts and the video in the description below as well, so you can see it there. In response to all of this Gamergate stuff, Swedish developers have publicly denounced the threats and the violence and the all of that as unacceptable, so that's good. And increasingly, you're gonna, like, we've seen people and organizations and developers coming out, and especially media outlets on varying degrees, and I'll get to that in a second, coming out and saying, and sort of like stating their intolerance of this kind of behavior. So it needs to be more, it needs to be stronger, it needs to be phrased stronger, and it needs to be acted upon stronger. So hopefully we'll see more of that. Um, the UK, in a related message or article, the UK apparently stiffened its maximum sentence for online harassment to 2 years, which was a quadrupling of their previous maximum sentence, obviously, which makes it 6 months. And that original sort of that original sentence or maximum sentence was 6 months, and it's been that way for 10 years now. So things change, and they need to change to kind of go with the times. And hopefully this will act as, at least in the UK, as a deterrent to that sort of behavior. Um, the in speaking to poor behavior online, I think I wrote about or talked about last week a little bit about this gentleman, and calling him a gentleman is an insult to gentlemen everywhere, Mike Malbec, who is the developer and co-creator of Paranautical Activity. And so I guess he was trying to release his game on Steam, and Steam made a mistake and either released the wrong version or something, and he became irate and took to the internet with his rage and said all sorts of vitriolic and angry and hate-filled things about Steam and about Gabe Newell, ending in a death threat. Yes, I know, that's my shirt. Ending in a death threat to Gabe Newell, who is, if you aren't aware, the head of Steam. And so Gabe's response was that he just pulled this guy's game completely from the market, and was like, that's it. You're not going to be selling on my marketplace. Thanks for coming. Don't call. Don't collect $200. Do not pass go. So one day after that, this guy, Mike, decides that maybe he was, like, over time, you saw his response become more and more contrite as he's realizing that he completely ruined his career in this, yes, I know. Yes. So he completely ruined his career in this move. And I think this is indicative of people's feeling that they can say and do whatever they want on the internet, and it's unacceptable isn't a strong enough word, but it's really abhorrent that people feel like they can behave this way and that it's okay. And that not only is it okay, but everyone will agree with them that it's okay. And I guess I need to give this dog more attention because she's very handsy. Yeah, so this guy a day later decided that he really had made a mistake and it was seeing his career and his life go up in smoke. And so he was very sorry and quit his position at the developer, probably hoping that that would mean that the game would still be allowed, or would go back to being allowed to be on the market, and that, you know, he could still make money or whatever. I don't know. So I hope that guy learned his lesson, and hopefully people who know him and who read this story learn their lesson. Next in the category of shit we already knew, there are two articles here, and one did like an A-B comparison between a man and a woman's experience online, and this is like completely irrespective of Gamergate or anything gender related, but just their experiences online in the gaming industry. And the quote from this article, which is like Captain Obvious rode in on his obvious horse and they made this obvious statement, and it says, running these numbers through a statistical significance test confirms what should be obvious to anyone following Gamergate. With a 99.9% confidence level, it is harder to be a woman than a man in the game industry, independent of what you say or do. Independent of what you say or do. So, shit we already knew. More on shit we already knew. Another article, the headline reads, Online gaming ranks poorly as welcoming place for women, states new research. Okay, so can we maybe get some research into something that we don't already know and have abundant research on? So no shit is the gaming industry hostile to women. All right, so maybe we could research ways to fix that. I don't know. It's frustrating. Anyway, Polygon posted a letter from the editor on Gamergate. I'm going to put that in the description below. I'm going to put those two statistics and studies in the description below. And I suggest that you follow Brianna Wu and Anita Sarkeesian. I haven't gone so far as to follow the third woman who was kind of at the beginning of all of this. Quaid, I think her last name is. But anyway, Brianna Wu specifically is very vocal about it, and her tweets contain a lot of really good information, and she's worth following for that alone. So check it out. That's all I got for this week. These are the things that, these are the things that are jumping out at me, and I apologize if this isn't what you're interested in. If it's not, I'm open to including things that you are interested in, but like I said and have said before, that these are the things that jump out at me, and so these are the things that I'm talking about. But I would really like to have a discussion with you, not only about all of this, but just in general, and we can do that if you reach out. So please do, and yeah, look for tomorrow's video where I talk more about Destiny, and I will see you then.